Over the years, there have been many theories as to why Machu Picchu was built. Recently, it is believed that the Emperor Pachacutec built this as a retreat, a personal retreat. This is some amazing place for a resort. When you look at the amazing construction, it's hard to believe that they had to level this mountain in order to make these terraces and buildings. There was a lot of work involved. It is believed that the work started around the year 1450. What you see in the distance is the Inca terracing system that allowed them to provide enough food for the entire complex. At its height, there were over 500 inhabitants here. Therefore, they had to grow corn, potatoes, and many other root vegetables. And that's how they did it. Machu Picchu was built in the 1450s. However, it was abandoned only 100 years later in about 1572 due to the Spanish conquest. It's hard to believe, but the Spanish conquistadors never discovered Machu Picchu, so it stayed a secret until Hiram Bingham discovered it. After Machu Picchu was abandoned in the 1570s, it remained hidden from the world until 1911 when Hiram Bingham came here. It had been overgrown with forest and bushes, so it took some time to clean it up. But the site had come to international attention because of Hiram Bingham. What you see before you has mostly been restored. The work started in 1976 in order to make it more attractive for tourism. In 1983, UNESCO named Machu Picchu a World Heritage Site. Machu Picchu took over 50 years to build with thousands of laborers. If it were to be built today, it would cost over $1 billion. I think that's a lot of money. Right now we're visiting the Temple of the Sun. They say that the stonework here is among the finest in the entire Inca Empire. This was used to measure solstices and perhaps as a funerary compartment. Tomb, which is part of the Temple of the Sun. You will see 3 steps. They represent the 3 levels of existence in the Inca world. The snake, the underworld, the puma, the present, and the condor, the celestial world. Water was very important for the crops and for the people. Therefore, they developed a very interesting series of fountains. There's a natural water source spring at the top of Machu Picchu, and they use gravity through a series of little canals like these to bring water down into lower Machu Picchu and through the creeks. As soon as the water would fill one of the little fountain sinks, it would travel down to the next one, as you can see here. What you have here is a very interesting creation. I'm unable to pronounce it, but it is how the Incas were able to determine the solstices. This worked like a sundial. Why was it so important to determine the solstices? Well, when you think about your life being dependent on the growing season, it's very important to know when to plant your crops. As you can see, there is no mortar between the rocks. The reason for this is that during an earthquake, mortar will disintegrate. The Incas cut the rocks so finely and so precisely you cannot even put a knife blade between some of them. Quite outstanding. There's some very long staircases here. You better be in shape. As you walk through Machu Picchu, you will see that there are many different sectors. Here we have the agricultural sector, then the nobility sector, where the king would have lived. Then we have the industrial sector, and lastly the residential and spiritual or religious sector. What do you think this flat stone was used for? Well, it was actually flattened or sculpted to be a bed, so people actually slept here. As you can see, the house was built around it. Very ingenious. So now it's time for part 2 of Machu Picchu. I bought a ticket to climb that mountain in the distance. I'm not sure if that was a good idea, but I'll let you know. And if I don't come back, I love you all and you're the best English students I've ever had. You're going to be amazing. Ciao. So here we are walking up the stairs at Machu Picchu. I don't want to kill myself, and Now I know why I decided to become an English teacher and not an Olympic long distance runner. This is really tough. Victory is mine. I made it to the top of the mountain. Not sure about getting down, but I did it. Not bad for 50. Cheers. This is such a great feeling to be here. This is something I've had on my bucket list for many, many years. And now I can check it off. I have done Machu Picchu. Thanks for coming with me.